Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. This is week 4, I think, of lockdown. Week 5. It is the end of the Easter holidays. Matilda and I have been on holiday in the last couple of weeks. We've been camping in our back garden, but we are back inside now and ready to go. We have got a few other helpers with us today who are going to help us get through this. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Anu. I work at Redgate, and this is my son, Aniket. Hi.
Hi.
To everyone. Hello.
Are you ready to do some scratch with us?
Yes.
Excited.
I also made a rope.
Okay.
If you want to add it.
This sounds very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that later. Do you want to say hello quickly, Sophie?
Hi, my name's Sophie. I work at Redgate. I will be on the chat, so if you have any questions, just pop them in there. I won't be on video, but I will be answering all your questions, so just let me know.
Lovely, thank you both. So Anu and Sophie will be helping out with questions and anything else you need as we go through this. As with last time, we are recording this, so if you get stuck or if you need to drop out, don't worry, the video will go onto YouTube later, so you can take a look at that. Before we got started, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who wrote and gave us feedback from the last session. It's so lovely reading all of the things you wrote. The kids have been working really hard across the 6 sessions we've delivered now, and it's really nice to see how well it's being received. You did a good job, Tilda. The other fun piece of feedback we've had is about half of the people have said, you went too fast, slow down, and the other half said, you're going far too slowly, speed up. So the way we're going to deal with that is by doing nothing different this time, as I figure that's the average. We're going to go right down the middle. Right, so today we are going to take on the second part of the boat race game. So for those of you that were with us last time, we did the first half of this activity. For those of you who didn't see it, go have a look at the YouTube channel. You'll see what we did there. What we are going to try and do today is 3 things. We're going to add to our game, firstly, a timer. So let's see how long it takes us to get around the course, see if we can work out who's the fastest of the many people that are sat watching this now. Wow, okay. Then we are going to try adding some obstacles and then probably a few boosters into the course as well. See if we can make this game a bit more fun. If we get through all of that lot in a good time, we will set you some kind of challenge to go away with for the week and have a go at. I'm not sure what that is yet, but we will think of something before the end. Right, I am going to share my screen and get us back across into Scratch. Right, Anu, can you see my screen okay now? We're good? Excellent. Right, so what we have got here is hopefully something that you should all recognise. This is the code where we got to last time in the lesson. So Tilda, do you want to quickly explain what we got here?
So we have got from the end to the start, and you're changing costumes.
Got it. So we added a few different things in here, didn't we, last week? We introduced the concept of if statements and conditionals. So if something happens, then do this. If you touch this color, do this. We also had a play with different costumes and different sounds. So there's a whole load of different things in here. We're going to start today by introducing something else new once Matilda has finished her fab. We there? Mm-hmm. Good. See, go on. Right, the first thing I want to talk about today is variables. So in computing land, a variable is something that has a value. So we're going to introduce some values here. That could be a variable for speed or for the player's name, but the variable we want to introduce is a timer, because we're going to time how long it takes our boat to get around the maze. So the first thing we're going to do is add a new variable. So over in our Scratch code, we're going to go down to the orange section, which contains variables. And we are going to make a variable called time. Because what we want to do here is start to time how long the boat is going around the maze. Sorry, we're slightly distracted because a random dog has just come into our garden. I think our neighbours are walking through the garden. Right, so we have got a new variable called time. So what you'll see now at the top of your project is this little variable here called time has appeared, and it's currently set to 0. So this variable is at 0 right now. What we need to do is start to write a little piece of code to say when the green flag is clicked, let's start to count up. So what we're going to do is look for our events and find the when green flag is clicked event and drag it out somewhere new in the canvas.
So that's the top. It's the top one, and you need to drag it anywhere in your canvas.
Perfect. Right, let's just pause briefly while people catch this up. Right, so next thing we're going to do is set our timer for the start. So we're going to drop back into our variables section, and the very first thing up here is set time to 0. That's it. And we're going to drop that out. So what our code is saying to us is when the green flag is clicked, set our timer to 0. So that means that every time we start the game new, we're reset and we're good to go. The next thing we're going to do is use one of these little forever loops that we used in the first lesson, because this is the behavior we want to continue for the whole time we are playing the game. You're right, orange. So now what's going to happen inside here is we're going to start to iterate on this counter. It's going to start to count up to measure the time. So what are we doing first, Tilda? Up the top of our control section, we're looking for
orange.
The wait command.
And it should say wait 1 or 2 seconds. Whee! And drag it into your forever. Whee!
Perfect. And we would like our timer to count up in tenths of a second. So we're going to change that number from 1 to 0.1. So what we're telling the program to do is as soon as the green flag is clicked, set the time to 0, wait 0.1 of a second, and then do something. And the thing we want it to do there is increase our variable by 0.1 of a second. So we want to change that variable. So we're going to drop back into the orange section.
This one.
The variable section a little bit lower.
That's not what I just read.
Okay.
Pretty much.
And change the time by.
And this is in variables, and we need change the time by 1.
That's it. Okay, so let's just walk through this new block we've created here. We're saying when the green flag is clicked, from the variables section, set the time variable to 0, and then inside our forever block, wait 0.1 of a second, and then change the time by 0.1 of a second. And because this is all inside this little forever loop here, it's just going to keep moving between these two. So it'll go 0.1 seconds, 0.2 seconds, 0.3 seconds, and so on. You're right, Tilda. Let's give it a test.
Yay!
Let's play and see what happens.
Lolly lolly la.
So our boat is heading around the course, and we can see at the top our timer is starting to go up.
Lolly 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 la. Lolly lolly la. Lolly lolly la.
Right, let's keep it going, see what time we can get here, Tilda. Don't crash.
La. Yay! Meow!
There we go. I'd forgotten how great your sound effects were. So we made 18.2 seconds.
Yay!
Anybody who's faster in the chat, post your time, and we'll see if we can beat you later on. Right, everybody with me so far? Not quite everybody. Okay, so Sophie and the team will have 12.5 seconds. Wow, that is a good time there.
8.9 seconds.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Seriously.
Right, so
8.9 seconds. I thought I was the fastest.
we are going to do
6.1 seconds. 4.1 seconds.
amazing. Right, let's make this game a bit harder.
Yay!
What we're going to try now is adding some boosters to our course. So some, not quite, some points where we are going to make our boat go faster. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to introduce some little white speed boost arrows onto our map to make when the boat runs over it, it'll go even faster. The way we're going to do that is by changing our background. So our background at the moment is this maze. If you look over on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see a little thing where it says stage and a list of the backdrops we already have. If you click on that and then look up in the top left, you should be able to switch from the code tab to the backdrops tab. So now we're looking at our backdrop and you'll see the familiar editor that we've used before that we can use to start to draw some speed boosts in. Let me show you. Where is white?
Oh, yeah. There it is. You're changing the colour.
So,
Let me do it. I'll just draw the arrows.
should we make our brush a little bit thicker, do you think?
Yeah, can you delete it?
So up here,
How do you delete it?
use the eraser.
Oh.
Oh no!
Wah! Daddy, how do you erase it?
Let's just go back and tidy up our C.
Let's do blue. We need blue.
There's our blue.
Blue, 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 blue.
So just to drop back and answer the question about backdrops, if you're looking in your code at the moment, you're probably here. If you look over on the right of the screen, you'll see backdrops over here. Click on the backdrops there, and then where you were seeing costumes, you'll see backdrops. So now let's give ourselves a slightly thicker brush.
20.
Let's find, let's tidy up C first. And now let's find the white.
White.
And make some speed boosts. So the idea here is these little white patches, when our boat runs over them, we're going to make the boat go faster. So we should be able to make the course in an even quicker time. Or depending on where you put them, you could make it a little bit trickier as well.
Actually, not that. There we go. That's where I'm putting them.
They're looking good. Okay, so we've got some speed boost arrows in.
I don't want that. How do you get the blue? How do you get the blue?
Use your ink dropper
Inky.
and then pick the blue. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Daddy, 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 da. Oh, no.
There we go.
Ink dropper. It's blue.
You can redraw that as well, okay?
There.
Yep. So you can make this as easy or as hard as you want. You pop some in now, you can always come back and add some more later if you want to. That's looking great, Tilda. Right, so
Good.
now we've amended our backdrops, so we've got these speed boosts in. Now we need to tell the game how these speed boosts actually work. So let's flick back over into our code. And the thing I did there was I clicked back on my boat sprite. So this is the code for the boat sprite. Now, in the session 2 weeks ago, we did a few things that are exactly what we need to do here. We used these if statements to say, if our boat is touching a color, then we want this behavior to happen. So what we want to happen is if the boat touches the white, we want it to go faster. How do you think we might do that, Tilda?
That's easy.
It is easy because we've done it before.
Yeah.
So let's add in another if statement. So we want one of these if something thens, and we're going to drop that in underneath the other one. There we go. So if what? So what Matilda's doing is she's dropped through into the sensing section, and she said if the boat is touching a colour, this is what we'd like it to do.
Can you get this to go away?
Yeah. Right, so if the boat is touching the colour dark blue, that's not quite right, is it?
No.
So talk through what you're doing for people.
So, you'll find, if you press on the colour, you'll find 3 stripes, 1 rainbow, 1 grey and 1 blue. And underneath that you'll find a mini pipette. And then everything will go dark. And as soon as you see some white under your square, click on it. You have a sample of white. 0, 0, 100.
Right, let's click out of that. So, our new if block says if the boat is touching the colour white, then what do we want it to do? We want
Go faster.
Just go faster, so we want it to move a few more steps, don't we? So again, these are blocks that we've used in the previous week. We're looking at the motion section for move. So if the boat is touching the colour white, then move 10 steps.
No.
Why not 10?
Because it will go too fast.
10 is too fast. What do you think would be better?
And, well, where is it?
Oops.
No.
How many do you think?
3.
Got it. So if the boat touches the colour white, move 3 steps.
No,
and as
2.
Tilda was saying, the faster you want it, the bigger the number, the slower, the smaller the number. Right, let's give it a test, Tilda.
No, not 2. I want 2.
Let's give it a go with 3.
Testy time.
Right, so our last time was 18.2. Can we beat it with the new speed boost? I'm enjoying seeing people improvising with the instructions. We've got some pink speed boosts elsewhere.
Pink?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I am serious. Are you serious?
No. I do not believe that there are pink ones.
Keep it going. Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
Done. So with our additional speed boosts, we recorded a time of 28.9 seconds. So
Not very
we're going to go
helpful.
faster.
Can I do more speed boosts?
More speed boosts.
Yeah.
We will come back to those a bit later because we want to show everybody else something else. Right, the next thing we are going to do is make this game harder by introducing an obstacle. Up in the top right-hand corner of our maze at the moment, we've got a big empty space, and what we're going to fill that with is not only a gate, but a gate that spins. So we are going to do this by creating a new sprite.
Yay!
That's the kind of enthusiasm I like here.
I like sprites.
How do we create a new sprite, Tilda?
You press on the sprite button in the bottom left-hand corner, and you go to the paintbrush. And then you have a white square that's not very helpful.
So, bottom right, the little cat face with the plus, and then new sprite, and we're using the paintbrush option.
Paintbrush.
Now,
Paint a gate.
what we're going to do is paint a gate. What is really important here is that you make sure your gate is the same colour as the walls.
Ta-da!
So our brown is already selected as the brown. We can help you out with this a little bit. If you just open up the fills block, Tilda. These are the colours you need. So
10, 140.
that means that our brown gate is going to be the same colour as the wall of the maze, which means that the boat will crash into the gate and display the same behaviour that it does with the walls. Okay.
How do you move it there?
So we need to do a couple of things here.
Or draw this gate.
Let me help out a little bit. We're going to jump back just a couple of sections here.
Can you take away that, please?
Yep.
Because I want to draw another one. So we need to be fair. Thin. That will be very thin, you know. Oh, that's thick.
So
That's in the wrong place. Can you get it? So I can draw it.
go on then.
Let's put it here. Yay!
Cool.
Put it in the right place.
So what we are trying to do here is end up with a gate
Wow.
in this space that we're going to make spin round. So two things that are important. First, make sure it's the right size so it'll actually spin. And the second thing we need to do is we need to be very careful where this gate is positioned inside our costume, because the computer is going to start to rotate it. And the way it rotates it, very carefully in your costume, there's a little circle with a crosshair in the middle. That is the center point of the costume. So I am going to pick up my gate and move it so it's dead center. Can you see? It kind of snaps.
It snaps.
So the trick with the brown color is this little setting here. So in the
Oh, yeah,
fill,
it snaps.
I've got 9, 140. Makes it easier to drag into the middle point. So our gate is now right in the middle, and you're right on our backdrop. Let's click and drag it into position. I am going to pause slightly here again for people to catch up. So the goal of this section is let's get a gate in the costume, dead center, and positioned in the right place on the backdrop. Okay, everybody. Hopefully everybody is in the right place. We've got our gate. Now what we need to do is head back and start to make this gate rotate.
What do we do?
We move back to our code section.
Code! Top left corner, by the way.
And this time, rather than adding code to our boat sprite, we are going to add code to our gate. So can you see what I've done here is I've moved from the boat over onto the gate. So we've now got this beautiful blank canvas where we're going to create some new code. And like everything else, we're going to start when the green flag is clicked.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
And next, use our forever block because we want the gate to always spin.
It's orange. Anyway.
And then a motion block. In a second, I'm going to drop back and I'll go through creating that gate again for people, for those of you that need to see it again. But for those still here, that is it. That is our nice simple code for the gate. So when the green flag is clicked, forever, turn 1 degree. So there we go. My boat is now moving and my gate is spinning. Right, I'm now going to quickly jump back and create another for people to see it. The way we did this is we created a new sprite. So down at the bottom right, choose a sprite, paintbrush.
Can I draw it, please? Please.
And on here, we drew a brand new gate. So we selected the paintbrush tool first.
Donny.
And then very carefully we drew out a little gate.
Dun.
So now we've got a new gate, and then let's click on the backdrop and move this gate somewhere else in our maze. Where are you going to put this new gate, Tilda?
Here.
It's got to go on the backdrop, please.
Oh, okay. It's gonna go here. It's on the backdrop.
Okay.
Because then we only have one gate. We need another gate. Because it's tricky and I've never tried it.
I don't know, we could give it a go, couldn't we?
As long as they spin at the same time.
Right. So, gate's ready to go. Gate is on the center because that's the place where we need it. And then we're going to create some code for our gate. So we drop back across into the code section. Make sure we've got this new gate selected. And then we're going to write that same block of code that we did before, which is when the green flag is clicked, forever, turn the gate by a number of degrees. Example here, we now have 2 spinning gates, Tilda.
Yeah.
You're going to give it a go?
No.
See how we get on.
But I'm not gonna. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna crash.
Let's try it.
Right.
Here we go.
Those gates look like they're going very fast, and I don't want to crash myself.
That's it. Go, go, go. Oh. Right, so we have taught you 3 new things this afternoon. We have introduced variables as a way to time our boat. We have introduced speed boosts to make our boat go faster. And now we have created some obstacles with our spinning gates. With these 3 concepts, there are loads more things you could do to improve your game, to make it harder. Maybe you could introduce slime to your maze and the boat would go slower when it went through the slime. Maybe you could create some other moving obstacles. There are loads of new things you could do with your knowledge. So we are going to stop here. Hopefully we've helped everybody in the chat. If you didn't, please contact us afterwards. We'll try and give you a hand. There will be a feedback survey sent out to you afterwards. Anything we can do to improve these, do let us know. Early next week, we will let you know what session 3 is going to be, but we are going to pick a new game. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. We'd love to hear what you managed to create with this. Not only your fastest time, but what other obstacles you managed to create too. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. We will see you again next Friday. You say bye, Tilda?
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Dun, dun, dun.